Alex Eala has turned one summer into the most expensive stretch of her life. A first Grand Slam fourth round at Wimbledon, a first WTA title in Washington, a seeded run in Toronto, and now a debut in Cincinnati she never got to have last year. And to her credit, she has been the calmest person in Ohio about what any of it is worth. Because the thing she keeps saying she counts is the level she plays, not the rounds she wins. The tournament does not count it that way. The tournament has published what every round pays, and the number sitting at the top of that list is $1,085,220. Stay with us for all of it and hit subscribe before we get into the numbers. Go back to the end of last season, to a player nobody wrote prize money articles about. Alex Eala closed her 2025 season at a career-high world number 50 and wrote it out on Instagram herself. My season comes to an end. I have no words to describe what 2025 has brought me. My dreams have truly come alive. It's such a privilege to look back at this year and relive these amazing moments through memory. This marks the beginning of what I hope to be a long, happy, and fruitful career on tour. Thank you, everybody. See you in 2026. She called it the beginning. One season on, that word is doing work she cannot possibly have planned for. At Wimbledon in July, Eala reached the fourth round of a Grand Slam for the first time, and she took out the defending champion Iga Swiatek on the way there. The Tennis Gazette put her check for that fortnight at $401,022, and her ranking moved from 32nd to 28th in a single tournament. Now put that against the rest of her year, because before Wimbledon, she had earned $871,438 across all of 2026. 2 weeks at one tournament added almost half of that again. That is not a breakthrough. That is a repricing. And the order matters more than anybody said at the time, because Eala did not climb into the top 30 and then get paid for it. She got paid first in a fortnight, and the ranking limped along behind. In this sport, the money moves before the reputation does, and it moves faster than anybody's team is ready for. Washington came next. For everybody who had to play her there, it went a good deal worse. At the Mubadala DC Open, Eala beat Zheng Qinwen, Leylah Fernandez, Alina Svitolina, and Naomi Osaka just to reach the final. Then she dropped the opening set to world number 3 Jessica Pegula and won the next two, 4-6, 6-4, 6-0. In a final, Lightning had already shoved back a day. It was her first WTA singles title, the first ever won by a Filipina, and the check was $252,000. Her ranking jumped 8 places to number 20, and she came out of that week with career prize money of $2,901,015. Asked in Cincinnati which moment of the summer felt most surreal, she flatly refused to separate them. It's very difficult to pick. It's very, very difficult to pick. I mean, it would have to be between Wimbledon and Washington, of course. I think playing on center court and winning in such fashion against the great players, I mean, something I'll never forget. And it was my first win on center, so crazy, crazy, crazy experience. And of course, everyone says you'll never forget your first title, so it's kind of like my two babies if I want to pick. Two babies, 5 ranked opponents, one crazy, crazy, crazy week. Here is the strange part, and it is the reason this video has a number in the title. That $252,000 was not even her biggest payday of the summer, because losing in the fourth round at Wimbledon had paid her more than winning a title in Washington did. It is also not a quarter of what this tournament hands its champion next Sunday, and the trophy slowed absolutely nothing down, because 3 days later, she was in Toronto, in the night session, in front of a sold-out building. In Toronto, she beat Alicia Parks 6-1, 4-6, 6-2, then beat Katie McNally, then lost to Belinda Bencic in the round of 16 on August 10th. 3 matches, and the Canadian Open put all 3 in the night session in front of sellout crowds. That has nothing to do with her forehand, because tournaments do not schedule the world number 20 in prime time 3 nights running for the ranking. They do it because the building fills, and Toronto had watched what happened in Washington. Asked what she was going to do with the days between Toronto and Cincinnati, she did not mention her serve once. I definitely will take maybe 2 days off, a day or two. I do have to travel to Cincinnati. I need to get a haircut. I haven't gotten a haircut in a while. My nails are grown out, so yeah, I'll do a couple things just to get my mind off tennis. A haircut and grown out nails from a 21-year-old who had just played 8 matches inside 2 tournaments and won a title in the middle of them. Within days of the Bencic loss, Marriott Bonvoy confirmed Eala as an ambassador in the face of its Tennis the the world campaign across Asia Pacific. And Tennis 365 reported that the endorsement money now inside her reach could run to something like $10 million a year. So the commercial side has already placed its bet on Eala Mania, and it placed it in the first fortnight of August. The ranking has not caught up with that bet, the seeding has not caught up with it, and the prize money is not remotely close. Was any of it going to get tested in Cincinnati? On Saturday, it wasn't. Eala was entered here last year and never hit a ball. The Inquirer has the reason: a shoulder injury that pulled her out of the last big tune-up before the US Open, which is why the word debut is doing work here. This time she arrived as the 17th seed, her highest ever at a WTA 1000 with a first-round bye. 3 players ranked above her were out injured: Karolina Mukova, Jasmine Paolini, and Victoria Mboko, which is how a world number 20 ends up seeded 17th. On August 14th, she was asked what would make the week a success. I think it's just the level that I play. And of course, the more matches, the merrier, right? But it's the matches of substance, and it's the ones that, did I execute what I want to execute? Did I bring the level that I wanted to bring? So if I lose first round, but it's a really good match, not to say that it's a successful week, but it wasn't a bad one. And if I reach the final, then I'll take that too. Matches of substance. Hold on to that, because Cincinnati had other ideas. On Saturday, she got Elena Gabriela Rus, who beat her in the last qualifying round of the 2024 US Open and cost her a first Grand Slam main draw. Eala lost the opening game and then won 9 in a row. At 6-1, 3-0, Rus called the trainer for her right foot. Lightning stopped play just after noon. The tournament said nobody was returning before 1:30, and Rus retired during the wait. So the first Cincinnati win of Eala's career arrived without a handshake. 10 games. That is everything Cincinnati has asked of her. Monday is the first time Eala and Amanda Anisimova have ever played each other. Anisimova is the 9th seed and the world number 10. She is a 2-time Grand Slam finalist, and she came through Zeynep Sanmez 6-2, 6-3 to get here. She was asked about the matchup on court straight afterwards. She's been having such an incredible season, an incredible year. Very great player with a lot of fans, so I'm really looking forward to that. I know that it's probably going to be a very packed stadium, so I'm sure it will be really fun. Read that again, because it is not a throwaway. Anisimova already knows it will be a very packed stadium, full of Philippine flags. She has watched the same summer everybody else has, and she is calling it really fun anyway. That is a top 10 player refusing to be spooked by Eala Mania before she has to walk into it. Eala arrives at 9-4 against top 10 opponents, with 5 of those wins coming in a row. That is the statistic that makes Monday a fixture rather than a formality. And there is a list underneath all of it, because Eala came into the week at a live career high number 18. Beating Rus moved her to 2,221 points and a projected number 17, and reaching the 4th round on Monday would take her to 2,276. The official rankings are frozen until this tournament finishes, and the list published on August 24th is the one the US Open uses to seed its draw. So Monday is not a warm-up. It is a seeding argument with a top 10 player in the way, and the ranking is still only half of what is sitting on that court. Here is the ladder, exactly as this tournament published it. Saturday's win over Rus banked $47,375.65 ranking points. Beating Anisimova on Monday makes it $81,752.120 points. The quarterfinal pays $154,210. The semifinal pays $297,315. The runner-up walks away with $564,920, and whoever lifts the trophy on August 23rd is handed $1,085,220. That top number has never existed at this tournament before. Iga Swiatek won this title last year and collected $752,275 for it. The women's prize pool went up 44.26% in 12 months, from $5,152,599 to $7,433,076, and the champion's check cleared 7 figures for the first time in the event's history. Now set that beside the other number on the same site in the same fortnight on the same hard courts. The men's champion here is getting $1,151,380. That is $66,160 more for winning the same trophy in the same city in the same week. And Tennis 365 points out that the WTA committed back in 2023 to equal prize money at joint events by 2027, which makes this one of the last summers the gap gets to exist. It exists this summer, and Eala is one of the players it is being taken from. She said she would measure the week by the level, not by the rounds, and she said momentum does not guarantee anything. That is a healthy way for a 21-year-old to think. The tournament measures it in 5 figures around until the very top of the ladder, where it turns into 7, and nobody opts out of the second scoreboard. The ladder only pays the players still standing on it. Monday tells us which rung Alex Eala is on. All right, that is the state of play going into Monday. Alex Eala, a Cincinnati debut that lasted 10 games and a prize ladder that tops out at $1,085,220 next Sunday. Do you think she gets past Anisimova and turns this into a real run? Do you think a tournament paying its men's champion more still gets to call this a breakthrough summer for her? And where does she land on that August 24th list? Drop your call in the comments, subscribe so the result lands in your feed, and we will catch you in the next one.